Suddenly I woke up one day and I was huge, and I didn't understand when people would make fun of me or would call me, strange names. And I remember I went for the audition of the Tamil version of Queen, and I said, you know what, I've come here for the lead role, for Kangana Ranaut's role. And one of the things that happened was that they laughed. And eventually I met with G. Venkatram and I told him, why don't you photograph me? Because I think I could really help and I really want to push this concept of body positivity. And we did a glorious shoot. Actually, we've done 2 glorious shoots that really, really broke the internet, I believe, in my own way. And we were trending on Twitter with Times of India. It was amazing. Hi there, this is Mallika Angela, and I am a body positivity activist, a tattoo artist, an actor, a model, and most importantly, a woman. So I'm really amazed that I'm here today and that I can share my story with you guys. And if I were to really go back to the very beginning, I think I was always this girl who just didn't understand why people would make fun of me. I was always a fat girl. I think after the age of about 14 or 13, I really started putting on a lot of weight. Part of it was genetic, part of it was the fact that I loved food and I enjoyed eating it. And sometimes at that age, you're not taught about how to eat and what kind of food is healthy for you or not healthy. You just go by taste. And suddenly I woke up one day and I was huge, and I didn't understand when people would make fun of me or would call me, strange names. And I could still do a cartwheel. I was amazing at singing. I could act. I thought I was the most beautiful girl when I looked into the mirror, but apparently a lot of other people did not think so. And eventually I started to realize that something was wrong with me. And for the longest time, I didn't understand how to deal with it. But of course, over time, I understood one thing, and that was that I was a very positive person, that I was a very happy person, and that I just wanted everybody around me to be happy as well. I never judged anybody by their looks. Of course, we're always taught that, a certain kind of perspective is better than another, right? Like one grass is greener than the other side. But the fact remains that all of us are beautiful and all of us are wonderful beings. And I think that it is our uniqueness that makes us so wonderful. And each and every human being is unique. Like all of our DNA is unique, It's not all the same. And so when that thought came out and I was trying to go and get into the films, and I was trying to become like this actress. I came to Chennai from Canada and I tried to get into the movies. And of course I was made a lot of fun of, and a lot of people were asking me like, are you going to lose weight for this role? Are you going to come inside? And I remember I went for the audition of the Tamil version of Queen, which has not yet been released. But I came for that audition and I stood in front of the producer and the directors and I said, you know what, I've come here for the lead role, for Kangana Ranaut's role. And one of the things that happened was that they laughed. They were like, you think you're going to be queen? And I said, my name's Mallika. I am a queen, So yeah, and that whole movie was about a really, a person who was not looked at by society as somebody amazing, a very introverted person who was looking to come out of her shell. And I really thought that that was me at the time. Of course, I never got the role, but I never stopped trying. And eventually I met with G. Venkatram and I told him, why don't you photograph me? Because I think I could really help and I really want to push this concept of body positivity. And a lot of people confuse body positivity and think that I'm only supporting fat people or I'm only supporting curvy people or chubby people, but that's not the case. I'm actually supporting anybody and everybody who has a body. That's what body positivity is. Whether it's your body or my body, none of us have the right to judge. And I think that's the first thing that you should understand when it comes to body positivity is stop judging everyone around you. If somebody wants to go get plastic boobs, let them get it. If somebody wants to go get, a pizza and eat it after they had a very long session at the gym and worked out all day, let them eat the pizza. If they want to go and, get a tan, let them get a tan. If they want to be fair, let them be fair. If they're born that way, let them be born that way. If they were born as a woman and want to be a man, let them be that way. You don't have a right to judge, is what I'm saying. And I think that's what body positivity embodies, really. That's the idea, at least that's what it is to me. I've had a lot of flack with people telling me certain things like, oh, you're a body positivity activist, but you're working out with Big Lee. Am I not allowed to work out? And when was it your responsibility about what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to do with my life? I could lose all this weight and become a skinny girl and I'm still gonna be body positive. And that was the big message that I had to put out. And of course, G. Venkatram accepted and we did a glorious shoot. Actually, we've done 2 glorious shoots. The first one was in 2017 with 13 different sizes of people, different colors, different sizes, different sexes, different orientations. And it was amazing. It was a calendar in 2017 that really, really broke the internet, I believe, in my own way. And we were trending on Twitter with Times of India. It was amazing. And then, of course, I went through a little bit of a breakup because I had a boyfriend who was not very supportive of the fact that I was body positive, who actually told me, why do you want to change the entire world when you can just change yourself? I'm not here to change myself. I'm here to grow. I'm here to become better at what I am, but I'm not here to change who I am. All my experiences, my past, all of that made me this person, and I'm damn proud of her. In fact, I'm proud of every mistake even. I love my mistakes. I love my successes as much as I love my mistakes. And I think that's what makes a human being really successful in my eyes. I decided I wanted to be a tattoo artist, and that kind of went crazy because I don't think in Chennai there had ever been a woman who looked like me and behaved like me and was really open about life like me, and then also be a tattoo artist. And I was always a believer in, if I'm gonna be working, I'm only gonna be working with things I'm passionate about, because that was life to me. I mean, I have 14 dogs. I live with my mom. She's from Dubai, but I brought her back to Chennai so I could be with her and I could take care of her. I run a tattoo studio, which is lovely and successful. It's called Laughing Buddha. And I also, in the meantime, while I started this tattoo studio, had the opportunity to go and get a full body tattoo, which is the peacock that you see from the tip of my shoulder to the end of my ankle. And the best thing about that experience, I never thought I would make it through. Like, I was in so much pain from, my breakup and from all of these things that had happened. I was trying to get my ex back. I was in all of these places, and sometimes I feel like as a human being, we go through these phases where we feel like, if we don't have somebody supporting us, if we don't have a significant other supporting us, especially as women, because women are taught from childhood that we belong to some man, usually, or some person. And therefore, we become really dependent on this thought. And I remember, like, right before I was about to get this huge body tattoo, which is the peacock, I remember feeling so hopeless because I was really in pain. It had been 1 year of my breakup, and I really was devastated because I thought that he was going to be everything and that my life was going to be suddenly changed and everything was going to be perfect. But the fact is, you make your own perfect. And I think that's something that I realized when I went and got this huge tattoo done. We did it in 3 days, 65 hours, without any actual breaks. We didn't take any time in between. And it was one of the most memorable and crazy experiences of my life, like literally. And then I came back, and of course, G. Venkatram met me one day, and he was like, we have to shoot this. And the rest is history. We shot it. It took the internet again by storm. At least Chennai's internet, community went crazy and wild about this tattoo. And we did a full tattoo shoot which was also nude and had so many different perspectives. And I loved that it melted all the different aspects of my life, you know, my career path, which was tattooing, which I decided to do to become an independent woman, to become a woman who was going to stand on her own feet. I'm not saying that there is no love. I'm not saying that I hate men or that I do not want to be married or that I do not want to find love. Of course I do. I want to find it like everybody else, but I want to find it while I am secure in myself, while I believe and know that who I am is perfect. And that's something I think that, you know, if I were to ever tell any of the young women and men watching here, is that's what you need to really look at, is that everything about you is a part of perfection. Right? You are God's creation, after all. You were made by the universe and you were made to thrive. You were not made to survive. Going back to the photo shoot with G. Venkatram, I was so scared originally that people might take it wrong, that people might be like, oh my God, what is she doing? But then he kind of like looked at me and he said, this is who you are. You are a big girl who is not afraid of who she is, who is not ashamed of her body, of her rolls, of her wrinkles and stretch marks and, you know, all the flabby skin. She's not scared of that. And at the same time, you are fearless when it comes to physical pain, when it comes to emotional pain, when it comes to creating anything that might harm me or hurt me. I turn really strong. Like, you know, like Durga, like they say, the goddess, you turn really, really strong. And that's the power, I believe, of a woman. I really believe if all of us really, really look at each other and help each other understand that we have the power inside of us to keep going on, then you'll understand that you are indestructible, that you can create anything and you can come up with anything and you will keep soaring. So the interesting thing was, the minute I decided to become independent, you won't believe the kind of crazy stuff that started happening. The best part of it all was that I ended up getting awards from my tattoo studio. People started pouring in and paying me money to do art on their skin. I got my first project with Venkat Prabhu. I got my second project with Vignesh Shivan. And I got a Malayalam film where I did a full role, like I was the main lead. And all of this was not happening for like a good 7 to 8 years because I was living in self-doubt and self-pity, right? So stop that. So that's my story. I just wanted to say thank you and I hope you enjoyed it.